in the group of my hands, maybe 3, 4, 5, maybe 2, you can at least do something unique. That's why she's talking of a corporation, she's talking of a group, she's talking of a consortium, she's talking of many things, but not individual. So we read, I think, 14, and when we come back, we shall do some energizer. I think someone will lead us on iPad.
We stand up. What I do. You do what I do. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4 plus 4 equals 8. 8 plus 8 equals 6. Thank you.
Oh, that was so great. And let's have the biscuit. Yes. If you need a second, then you have to have a biscuit for them. Okay. They have given you a biscuit to repeat the same. Yes. Bakubuseka uncle.
This time. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4 plus 4 equals 8. 8 plus 8 equals
6 countries, and each country was supposed to train project whatever. So it's one of the groups trained by UYSTO, and they started their own company, their own NGO, and it is called Active for the Future Child Uganda.
The name was
Active for Future. Theirs is a separate one. There are 2 separate entities. They do not have any connection with the other one. Now that you have Child in Uganda, there is a teacher here. Where is our teacher? Out. No. No. She's there. We had a song and prayer. We said, teacher, goodbye, madam. Teacher, time is over. Goodbye, madam. Teacher, teacher, goodbye. You can go and sit. Yes, I'm speaking the truth. Madoliso, you can up. He does entrepreneurship. He's an entrepreneurship expert from Malawi, but he uses the same, but he has no internet to Google. Now the things you are talking about, that he can go Google and do what? He has no internet. These guys have no internet. It's one of the biggest challenges. I'm wondering how are you going to do it? Yes, the project has ended. We either what?
Thank you. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna be moderating, and Alex gave you to me for the half hour. Right? So you 3 of you are mine now, and I can use help to use you, right? All right. So the topic of our discussion will be how we're gonna sustain, how we're gonna continue, how how we're going to grow upon what we have experienced in the last year and a half of this project. So the first question I want to ask you all, and I want you to relate to me. All of us, we have traveled to each other countries. Well, except me, I haven't got to visit Kenya yet, but this is on the to-do list. So you saw how each of our organization works. You saw, Paul, how you implement your goals, how you work, and I'm sure you probably learned something from each other. So I want to ask all of you to relate. Can you identify a few things that you learned during these 3 visits and that potentially you could use in your own organization?
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Triatunga Bubmahi, and I have happened to participate, or our organization has happened to be a partner organization in this project we are ending today. And it had varieties, or it had some events that took place in different countries. We had the kick-off meeting in Nairobi, hosted by VACK. We had another study meeting which was to make us explore a lot in regards to discovering best ways of how we can address this project. And unfortunately, some of us did not go there in Lithuania. And the last part of the event for this project was supposed to be held in Uganda. And this is the event we are in now. In regards how we are relating the activities that we have found out on those different locations where different events have been held, is that we have been trying to see and sharing some methodologies how other organizations are working, how are addressing some issues and problems, and of which I think that we are likely to end up adopting some of them, and majorly what we did in Nairobi, which I think that can be part and parcel of how we can maintain or how we can sustain the project, is that when we are reviewing the project, because when we are writing this project, it was done online. The main partner coordinators sit in their countries in Europe. African countries do not possess the rights of writing a project in EU, especially under Erasmus. But there are those EU projects that come direct to African countries. So we write these projects online. But before implementing the project, or before fully putting the project into practice, we have to meet for what we call a kick-off meeting. And when we met, there are some other things that we had included in the project, whereby we looked at including the communities, making the community being part and parcel of the project. This means that when you bring the communities, or when you bring the people that you are trying to reach out with the project, there would be what we call ownership in terms of running projects. So that ownership itself will keep the project attached to the people or the beneficiaries. So within that kick-off meeting, we were able to integrate in, and we found it being effective, because when we made the people on the project, we were able to see them responding positively towards the project. That's why you are seeing this bigger gathering is here. They are trying to follow up. They are trying to see. And with this momentum that they have shown us to come into this event is a clear manifestation so that the project is going to be sustained. Because with their mandate, with their go-ahead recommendation, with the authorities we have, with the department sections that we have included in this, it means that the project is going to be sustained. That's what I can say in regards to the events we have been trying to share, or the visits we have been doing to plan how we can run these projects.
Okay, thank you. And you, Gideon, maybe you can relate as well?
Yeah, he has said it all, but I would say, having participated in 3 programs, if you listen, for example, yesterday program, you can see that the problem is all over. And then you have been equipped with ideas how to link up with people, how to go on digital communication, how to address social issues. Now, it's like a relationship. We start from a room. You'll be on your bed and then you think of something before you go out there and propose to a woman. So if you cannot address the problem, the challenges around you, you can't go global. So I think what we are already doing is working, but the only thing is to be back. As we said, we are building the competence of youth workers. So we have to work hand in hand and then make sure at the grassroots level we build them. If you build them, then there is possibility for sustainability. And we are doing that. Now we have the center. Now we are telling people to come and then we continue. So there is possibility for continuation after the project is ended. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Michael?
Jambo. Okay. I think the question was on what we learn from each other, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. From Uganda, I think the hands-on technique tool they use could be quite of useful to us in Kenya. Then to SMK, they picked us with ideas on how it works in the European Union. So we got a chance through the study visit to see how it works in the European Union. For SASO Ghana, we borrowed how you manage some of your volunteers, because you also have a volunteer. What is it called? You're a voluntary organization in a certain aspect, as much as you're doing different community projects. So we could also borrow some volunteer management skills from Ghana. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Well, and in that case, you know, I think we all have something to learn from each other, right? And do you think, like, the problems that all three countries of our project, you know, Uganda, Ghana, Kenya, are the problems identical that, you know, that you are facing every day? Are they identical, or they are different? Like, can you outline, or can you pick out some? I mean, I understand all three of you, you know, all three countries are struggling to work with corruption, right? At the same level. Corruption, poverty, lack of education. Do you think any other, like, specific problems that only Uganda face and Kenya doesn't face, or only Ghana face? Or in that way you are very similar, in your opinion?
I think most of the projects are, most of the problems are similar. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there's any unique problem in Kenya that is maybe not in Uganda, so or in Ghana. So most of the problems are poverty, corruption. So most of the problems the young people face, based on the experience I've gained through this program, visited Uganda, visited Ghana, and most of the problems I think our young people face are more like the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Nowhere cool. Somebody said nowhere cool.
Nowhere?
Nowhere cool. There's no paradise in anywhere.
Yeah.
Corruption in Europe, corruption in Africa, but maybe some places are deeper. So, and And sometimes, some situation is opportunity for somebody to build up. For example, the corruption, maybe Ugandan corruption is quite different from Ghana corruption. And maybe Kenyan ones will be also given. Because, and then it goes down to society. If a president is happy to take the whole government money to brother to do a project without paying tax and what have you, then the young man sitting there, what can he do? He's getting somebody to teach him how, and then so our responsibility is to fight it by grassroots level. I think the chief over there said it. It's not about big English. Starting small thing within local level and then build it small way up. So we have similar thing, but slight challenges, slight difference of the situation.
All of us being in an African or Sub-Saharan region, and we are all regarded as the less developed countries, I think we share the same characteristics and some other issues. However, to some extent, being in different geographical areas, there are some that can partly affect some countries, like maybe in Ghana or in Kenya, that do not much affect us in Uganda. Because we find that when you are sampling for some maybe certain activity or a project, you find that even here at Grand Global in Makerere, you find that some of the problems are not the same problems with maybe problems at Kawembe. Some, however, being in a sub-Saharan region, most of the problems and the characteristics are the same. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, and then, so my next question would be, let's look into the future now, right? I hope we will continue with this project. I mean, this project will be over anyways, right? We will be having new projects, new calls, new projects. So can each of you, on the basis of this is our project, can you identify what would you want the next project to look like? What should be the difference? What should we additionally include into the new project, for example? What would be more important? Where we could improve the weaknesses, the weak spots we have. Well, I understand this issue with, half of the delegation not getting visas is very frustrating, and I'm going to tackle that problem myself. So next time this will not happen. I promise.
It will happen. You can't tackle this problem.
Yeah.
It's out of you.
Included the Vice Minister of Interior Ministry, and it wouldn't help.
You want to improve the next project? What would you like to add? What we missed out this time? Like where you would see this project to develop into?
Well, by looking through what the agreement was, some of the project didn't come on, like the internet program, it didn't come on. So the next program, I want us to go step by step and make sure we complete the full program. Thank you.
Okay.
We were lucky to get the visas. The next project, I would suggest that we have more hands-on skills on trying to train these young people. Because yesterday we were complaining, we were looking at how many different countries why young people are not being employed. So maybe we could give them skills on like entrepreneurship, alternative to maybe seeking white-collar jobs, where we could train them on entrepreneurial skills and leadership as well, because of course we can have great leaders who are young. So if we could train them more on entrepreneurial skills and leadership, and also include a lot of mentorship, then we could at least the rate of young people who are unemployed could drastically reduce in some way. Yeah, so maybe next project we can think of designing manuals to train more young people on these skills. Yeah, skills development.
Okay, okay. You took notes? Okay, good.
We are working on that tomorrow because it's possible for tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. I think the question had two components. It had how are we intending to improve this because it is ending, and another one was which new projects do we think we can write. For the case of how we are intending to improve, this project mainly was looking at some of the things that will be done online, and we cannot access or we cannot have in our vocabulary the word online without the internet. So the people are suggesting that if there could be any other way, of maybe support, because this project I know is not ending here, is not stopping here. The designers are going to keep on sharing information with their friends. We know we have finished a project in Africa, but in case of any other support, it is still being welcomed because it needs to be sustained. So in case there is that possibility of meeting a friend, meeting someone, I think we put emphasis in putting internet or installing internet with those computers, because they will access these young people that we have helped to learn or to form some good CVs, to use how to use internet or how to use Facebook, how to use LinkedIn, how to use Instagram. Because without the internet, they cannot access Instagram, they cannot access Facebook, etc. So I'm of the view that if there is any other support that can come from these participants here or from outside, we invest it into internet. That is the improvement I'm trying to look at. Then for the case of new projects, I'm suggesting or I'm of the view that we write something concerning with agriculture. There are people that have learned, they have studied, but they are unemployed, they have their papers, and they are able to go or to move down in the village, as our yesterday's discussant, Honorable said, that they have formed a project in Potro for the youth to plant passion fruits. If we can write something that can be scaled up, and we help the youth have their own small gardens for the crops, like the tomatoes, like passion fruits, like vegetables, etc. It could empower them. Thank you.
Okay. 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 Well, in terms of internet, actually, just I remember I was reading an article that Mark Zuckerberg, you know who that is? The owner of Facebook, is planning to bring internet to these areas which it's impossible to have internet. In terms of they will be having self-sustained drones, like solar-powered drones flying over, African countries, some Asian countries, and it will get the internet accessible to people below. So I don't know how futuristic this is and when that actually will be real, but I hope it will be. I mean, things changing very, very fast. So I think we're just gonna react to that, and we'll be there, ready, waiting for that. Okay. Maybe there is somebody from the audience that would like to ask some questions. Wow. Okay.
And these are the main characters why we are here. They are representing the project, and I wanted to add that we are not here to condemn the European Union alongside the implementing programs, but we are here to look at what are the possible means for the future projects. So I know that governments and the states have policy policies, and these policies, they are to be handled in a process form. So I personally have been a victim to be denied a visa to some of these gatherings, but I know that they have a reason why they are denying it. But for us, we need to not to lose hope. We need to keep counting on our partnership and believing in our partnership, and also keep trying.
That you are talented where we lack those skills. So what our skills, what you could suggest us that we could also learn from you, except reproduction and all those things.
We have a lot to learn from you, and yesterday something happened here. Who can remember what happened here? When we were about to close, something happened. Yes? But when we were about to close, good. The two Lithuanians were doing something. You know, they were fishing. They were fishing. They were fishing for other opportunities. And that is my answer. We have to push hard. Identify what is possible. You don't accept volunteer because you want the volunteer to come. But find out who the person is. What can you benefit? Like my girlfriend over there, she came and she said, don't say help me. Nobody helps. And indeed, we need cooperation. We don't need help. Cooperate with me to learn. Help me to build myself. Do you understand? So, for me, I think we need information, number one, about who is coming, what can the person bring, okay? Because she came and then she studied everything. She was all over in our area. Shrine, mosque, church, school, everywhere. And she did everything. This kind of people we want. Then she can identify problems and tell you, this is a problem.
But the main question was, yes, what do you have?
What do we have?
To share with cooperate.
What can we learn from you?
I'm using the same thing to round it up.
Okay.
Okay? So, what we have, it's our case of lack of education, and you have education. Okay? You have some skills. For example, you are good in the correspondence in the internet. What can we do? What can we sell to them?
Yeah.
What can we export? We can sell our opportunity to you. For example, good. We can allow you to come and teach us in our institutions. No, please. They have a lot of professionals there. We don't have.
You have field workers, basically experts from the field experience.
So that you can know more about us, and we also know more about you. Thank you very much.
Once again, we can also share a few things here. I don't remember her name, the one from Lithuania in black. Yeah, she mentioned yesterday that they are poor in public speaking, and we are very good at it. Actually, last December was in Mitoma, where I talked about in that district, and we were training our youth through public speaking. How can you speak? Like if you are an MC on a funeral, how can you stand? Or how do you dress? Which words do you use in public speaking? We have a lot of MCs in Uganda, especially in the central, MCs on different functions. They stand up and can speak, just like Alex has been doing it. So we train our youth into public speaking. We can also share that with you. We take those skills to you. Then we can also share the parenting skills. You seem not to be having a lot of time with your children. You invest most of your time in doing work, office work. So you really need a lot of time. We see you people coming to Uganda, and you really admire the way we give roles to our children, the way we share roles to our children at home when we are leaving them at home. That you are supposed to mop the house, you're supposed to wash clothes, you're supposed to do this. There is a way you enjoy seeing that. A young kid of about 9 years, a girl is peeling, and she's saying, Mommy has to find me done with this. So you enjoy looking at our children sharing the house chores. So we really want to share with you the parenting skills so that you can avoid the maids, the house girls, the shamba boys in the house, and we can really do things for our children. We also have to share the cooking skills. We don't have to go to schools or to universities to learn how to cook. When you go to Lira, it's another district in the north from Kampala, you can find a Muganda there doing the Baganda dishes, the central dishes there, and the Baganda in Lira are looking for that restaurant there. So we want to see people, the Lithuanians cooking Ugandan dishes in Europe, and the Ugandans are looking for that restaurant where there is matoke, where there is posho being cooked the Ugandan way. So we can give you those skills. Here we can share with you how you can cook the Ugandan dishes. Thank you so much.